All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and go through some law of exponents today. Come on, there we go. So first things first is when we have the same base. So that means that we have, say, x to the n times x to the m. Now that can be written as such. There can be the multiplication symbol in between. You can have parentheses around one or both of them. And what you do that is you add those guys together. When you have, say, x to the n over x, over x to the m, you end up subtracting whatever's on top from whatever's on bottom, even if it's negative on the bottom. So you'd have minus minus, which would turn plus. Next thing is same exponents. So that's when you have several things, say like 2xy to the third. Everything gets that exponent. So we distribute. The same thing is true when we have a fraction. So that's x to the 7th, y to the 7th, over z to the 7th. And lastly, when we have a power to a power. So say, for example, we had x to the 4, y to the 6, z 10, all squared. So we know from the step before that everything gets that exponent, but when it gets the exponent, it ends up multiplying together. So we have x to the 8th, because we have 4 times 2, y to the 12th, and z to the 20th. The same thing is said if you're in a fraction as well. So if you looked like this blue example above, it had a 1, a 2, and a 3 here, everything would get multiplied by 7. So it'd be 7, 14, and 21. All right, let's try out some examples. So first things first is we take a look, can I simplify in each of my parentheses? And I cannot because none of my letters are the same. So then what I do is my exponents. And because it's already got, because it's got a fraction, everything is going to get that exponent. So my b to the 2nd is going to get multiplied with the negative 2. It's a really bad negative, let's try it again. I've got a pen I want to try. I'll have to go get it later. Over a to the negative 2nd, because it's like saying 1 times negative 2. And that thing's in its parentheses. And then again, everything here gets the negative 3. So let's go ahead and do that multiplication. I have b to the negative 4 over a to the negative 2 times a to the negative 6, b to the negative 3. Okay, next thing is I want to make all of my exponents positive. So to do that, if it's already on top and negative, it goes to the bottom and becomes positive. If it's already on bottom and negative, it comes to the top and is positive. So essentially all of these fractions are going to flip. So I have a squared over b to the 4th times a to, oops, looked at the wrong letter, times b cubed over a to the 6th. And now that everything's positive, I can go ahead and multiply those guys together. And when I multiply fractions, I do top times top. And since a and b are 2 different letters, it's just a 2nd b cubed over a to the 6th, b to the 4th. And then one more step is I go ahead and since I have fractions here, and I have a's on top and bottom, b's on top and bottom, I subtract. So I have a to the 2 minus 6 and b to the 3 minus 4. Which will give me a to the negative 4, b to the negative 1. Now because again, both of those are negative, they're going to go ahead and make a fraction. when they go down below, they become positive. And since I don't have a single variable or a single number that is positive, there's an invisible 1 here. All right, go ahead and get started on distributing that 3. I'll be right back. So I have this handy dandy tool I'm going to try real quick. I don't know how well it's going to work. So we're going to go ahead in this case, and we're going to bring in this 3 to both of them. So I have 2. Boop. Let's do that. So I have 2 to the 3rd. I was really hoping. I know they're not full straight lines, but at least it looks better than what I was doing with my finger. Let me try one more time. Because I think if I do this, that's a little bit better. So 2 to the 3rd, x to the negative 3 times 3. And that's going to be times or x to the negative 3rd. Alright, I tried. Not working out too well. So 2 to the 3rd is 2 times 2 times 2. Well, 2 times 2 is 4. And 4 times 2 is going to give me 8. Negative 3 times 3 is negative 9. And nothing's going on with that second term, so he's going to stay a 4x, so negative 3. Man, I was really hoping that might work. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and multiply everything together. So 8 times 4 gives me 32. And then I'm going to have negative 9 plus negative 3, which gives me negative 14. Excuse me, negative 12. I know math sometimes. Now, because the x has the negative 12, he's going to go down below and stay positive. But since my 32 doesn't have a negative exponent, he's going to stay on top of my fraction. So my answer is going to be 32 over x to the 12th. Okay, let's go ahead and try this next example. So again, everything gets a 2. So I have 3 squared x to the negative 3 times 2. I was hoping it might work if I pressed on it a different way. Nope, still jumping around. Okay. Man. So I have 3 to the second, x to the negative 3 times 2, times 6x to the negative second. 3 squared is 9. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. So now I have 9 times 6, which is 63. Negative 6 plus negative 2 gives me negative 8. So I'm going to have a fraction again. My x to the 8 goes on to the bottom and becomes positive, and my 63 stays on top. All right, multiple stuff going on at once. So we have to do simplify in parentheses if we can, and we cannot, so we first have to do exponents. So everything on top gets that 2. So I have 3 squared and x to the negative 2 times 2. Then on the bottom, everything gets that negative 3. So I have 3 to the negative third, x to the 4 times negative 3. Now in this case, because we don't know, because we have a negative exponent with our constant, which is 3, we have to first make it positive before I can do anything with it. So 3 squared is 9, x to the negative 4. The 3 to the third is going to come up and be positive. I have x to the 12th, negative 12, excuse me, on the bottom. Okay, well, 3 to the third is the same thing as 3 times 3, which is 9 times 3 more, which is 27. So now I have 27 times 9, and I don't know what that is off the top of my head. I think it's like 81. No, definitely wrong. 243. Just kidding. Mental math skills today does not exist. So I have 243. X to the negative 4th over negative x to the negative 12. So because those are both negative, they're going to flip. So I have 243 x to the 12th over x to the 4th. And then 12 minus 4 is 8. So my answer is 243 x to the 8. All right, last one. I thought so. All right, so then this one, since I don't have any exponents, multiplication going on, I have division. And when I have division, it's like saying I have both terms divided by whatever is on the bottom. So 4 divided by 7 does not give me a nice pretty answer, so I'm just going to leave it as, sorry, I said that backwards. 7 divided by 4 doesn't give me a nice pretty answer, so I'm just going to leave it as 7 over 4. I'm going to have x to the 3 minus negative 2. Again, 3 over 4 is not going to give me a nice answer. I have a negative 1 minus a negative 2. And the reason I wanted to show this step is because we are subtracting. And so when I have negative, negative, they turn into a positive. So 3 plus 2 is 5, so he's going to stay on top and he's going to be positive. Again, I have negative, negative, which turns positive. He stays on top. Okay, last one. In this one, we're going to do basic distributing. So I have x and x, so that gives me x squared. I have negative 3 and a 2. So negative 3 plus 2 gives me negative 1. Minus 4. I don't have any x's, so he gets an x. I have y to the negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1. I don't like negative exponents, so I have x squared over y minus 4x over y. And that's it. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Ta-da! See you tomorrow.